All right, so our next thing to do is to create a spreadsheet, a cost estimate from the things that we know. Okay, now this is obviously not going to include everything, but do the things that we found in the Revit file. So we can get some cost estimates for each of those and then put a total up at the top. So I'm going to show you, I've imported the structural framing material takeoff and I've got this information, and this is important. This is something that you have to always do. Check to see if it looks right. Because when I look at that, those numbers look big and those costs are going to be huge. And I see right off the bat that this looks like the formula was made as 2 times 10 times 20, about, right? Whatever that cut length was. And that should be divided by 12 to get board feet. So I'm going to divide by 12. And this one, I'm going to divide by 12. And that looks more like it. Looks totally more. And that's for one stick, one piece. So I've had to check. And that's just up to you to really kind of make sure that you understand what your numbers are and what they mean. And see if they even just look right. Total board feet. That's going to equal whatever it is for one stick times how many sticks there are. And of course I can copy that down. And I'm just going through this, right? I got to get to cost. So I got to know the board feet, cost per board foot, and then multiplying those two together will give you total cost. So what is the cost per board foot for Doug fir? I have no clue. I've got to go to Google and ask and look it up. And so I looked it up and it's 75 cents. And so my total cost equals, and it gets smart. It says, don't you want to just multiply those two? Yep. There we go. And then I put my sum up in the upper left hand corner. That's my total. And I tend to do that. I tend to put my total in the upper left corner, A1, and I'll show you why right now. So as I look at this, I need my structural lumber cost estimate. And so it's going to equal whatever is in that spreadsheet and in the upper left. Now, no matter what I do here, I can add more, I can add less, I can move things around. I'm always going to get my summary from the same spot. So as I make changes to this, my summary is always coming from the same place. There we go. So now that's my structural lumber. So now I got to do my roof. Let's figure out how to get your roof in there. That's called File, Import. And I'm going to go find it. Remember, I downloaded those onto my downloads. So let me get my, what did I say I was going to do next? My roof. Let me do my roof. And when I click open, it's going to ask me, where do I want to put this? Where do I want to import it? I'm going to import it to a new sheet in my file. Import. And there it is, roof schedule. So now I kind of know what it is, a little bit about it, but I don't know that much. So I have to go back and think about Design 300 and figure out what it is. Well, there's the structural part, but I've taken care of the structural part already. So what else is there? There's my sheathing, which I'm going to say is OSB 3/4 inch. It's a little heavy. It's probably 5/8. And how much of it is there? Well, this says the roof is about 793, so I'm just going to say it's that. And then what else do I have? I have vapor barrier. That's the plastic. And there's the same amount of that. And then there's asphalt shingle. And there's the same amount of that. So that's my area. So then I need my cost per square foot, because my area is in square feet. And again, I have to go look it up. To look them up. Type OSB 3/4 inch sheathing. It's probably, I'm even going to put 4 foot by 8 foot. I can move this over. So just do a nice job. Find those costs per square foot. And then my cost for each one of these is going to equal cost per square foot times how many square feet. Of course, I don't have anything filled out yet. Now, up here in my roof schedule, I'm going to move it over, and I'm going to say this equals the sum of whatever I've got over here. There we go. And I don't have the data in yet. I need those costs. But you're going to go look those up. But here in my summary, it's going to equal whatever happens here, up there, enter. And my final total is going to be in my upper left equals sum of everything I put in down here. Okay, now it's going to be up to you to go back to your design 300 and figure out floor, what goes into a floor, what goes into a roof, what goes into walls. If you don't know because you haven't had 300 yet, I will be discussing that in the lecture, so you can tune in to the lecture and find out about that. There we go.